What killed the dinosaurs?
Jesus did.
Sarah Palin.
The Terminator.
My ass.
It's the Flintstones.
8.
It was the Power Rangers.
The Ice Age.
Transformers.
Are you accusing me?
I'm not a doctor!
Bob Dole's very first speech.
You killed the dinosaurs. How terrible do you feel? Do you feel terrible? Good. Because you killed the dinosaurs, you bastard.
This killed the dinosaurs. And they were only the beginning.
I stole a time machine from this British guy with a long scarf, went back in time, killed the dinosaurs, skinned them, and turned them into underpants.
We killed the dinosaurs. As you can see, me and my brother are clearly 1,000 times the size of these creatures, so we stomped them all down with a game of Let's Kill the Dinosaurs. After that, my brother Elliot crapped out a thing called Microsoft, and mankind has thrived ever since. Yeah.
Ask again later.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
42.
42.3 or 4 maybe kilograms.
5.3 meters.
72 by 4s.
6.
16.6. Rounded down.
A lot?
All of it. 88 pounds per hour. 1.21 gigawatts.
Depends on the foreign currency exchange rate.
Hamster Kelly.
Not enough to save it from a 12 gauge.
Those things don't even exist!
A woodchuck can only chuck Jones, because they are not yet strong enough to chuck Norris.
Well, a woodchuck would chuck no amount of wood because a woodchuck can't chuck wood.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood, and the wood that a woodchuck would chuck is the wood that a woodchuck could chuck, if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
A woodchuck could chuck all the wood he could, but a woodchuck couldn't chuck Chuck Norris.
He could cut a quarter corner considering carpet classes cut costs.
3 trillion tremendously thrown tree trunks.
Yeah, is this woodchuck? How much wood could you chuck if you could chuck wood? I don't know, in about an hour? 10 meters? Oh, that's a lot. Anyway, thanks for your help. Wrong number.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Of course not. Trees can't talk.
Of course it makes a sound. It cries. Because nobody likes him.
Not so much the tree, but the woodchuck it lands on makes a pretty pathetic cry for mercy.
If there's no one there to hear it, there's no one there to care whether or not it makes a sound.
That's actually my girlfriend's ringtone.
Well, I don't know. Let's ask the tree.
No.
There you go.
Trees say. As you can see, trees are very, very foul-mouthed.
Yes. And that word is...
I will have your souls.
Yes?
Yes, they do. When they fall, and no one is around to hear it, they decide to sing techno remix versions of emo songs.
Yes, it does. Because if no one was around, there would still be hidden microphones placed by Santa Claus. Yes, Santa Claus places hidden microphones all over the world.
I don't care! Seriously, wood is used to make marionettes and ventriloquist dummies, and those freaks are the inferior races.
Well, that's a very interesting question. Now I have one for you. If I shove my foot so far up your ass that it comes out your mouth, where is my foot? Chew on that, Mr. Philosophizer.
Shame on you for asking.
You know what? Just watch this.
It depends on what you mean by no one. If there is a complete absence of any living organisms in the area, then no, it does not make a sound. However, being that the trees in the woods, there's a whole menagerie of potential listeners. The rabbits, the deer, the birds, the mice, the wild boar, the bears, the worms, the beetles, the butterflies. There's an audience of listeners in the woods. Even so, without anyone to listen to it, sound is all dependent on energy and vibrations in air particles. So, to answer your question, of course it makes a sound, dipshit!
Can you tell me how to get back onto the freeway?
No!
Pick up your left foot, put it in front of your right foot. Pick up your right foot, put it in front of your left foot. Pick up your right foot again, put it in front of your left foot.
You're gonna make a right out of here, okay? Then you're gonna go south about 10 minutes. You'll see a guy with a hat and hooker heels. Don't talk to him. He's a moron.
All you have to do is click your heels 3 times and say, "There's no place like the freeway."
Simple.
just use public transport. It's safer, cheaper, and better for the environment. The power is yours!
When you get to that fork in the road, you're going to see a man who always tells the truth and a man who always lies. Eventually you'll fight your way through the cave of eternal guano. Then Kevin Conroy will be there to greet you.
Oh, that's easy. Simply go up to the freeway and step onto it.
Well, it depends on if the freeway wants you back.
You see, there's a difference between the words can and will.
I'm a freaking puppet, man!
There is no freeway. There is only her way.
That information is confidential.
Alright, so you're about somewhere here, I guess. So you got to get around these mountains.
With your car, dumbass.
We figured we'd let the Burger King tell you. That's his answer for everything.
Before you, you're going to make another right at Albuquerque, and then you've reached the ocean.
Yes, for a Klondike Bar.
What would you do for a Klondike Bar?
I would tell you how to get back onto the freeway.
Kill more dinosaurs.
I would club a Klondike cub to claim a Klondike Bar, and eat the cub first.
This is a family video, I can't show you that.
I would do this.
Your mom.
I dance.
Can I get the Klondike Bar in advance?
Anal sex.
I will kind to Kentucky with the Kiwis and a kiss. I would lasso every llama on my Lima Llama list.
Well, if you ask me, I would do a lot for a bar full of Klondikes. Sounds great to me.
I would lick a Samoan. Hold on. Hi. Hey! What the? Hey!
Defendant orange over and an overactive orc. I would navigate to Neptune with a ninja from New York.
What the fuck is a Klondike Bar? You Americans and your cultural references I don't get. Leaves me having to go to my reliable data source in order to help answer your question.
Klondike is a brand name for a dessert generally consisting of a vanilla ice cream square coated with a thin layer of chocolate-flavored coating.
Well, to answer your question, I would have to say that I would do what every normal person would do in a situation like this. I would torture a kitten until the people holding these hallowed Klondike bars would give me one.
But they are purchasable in any food store.
Shut up, you.
Fuck you.
I would disco dance in diapers with the Duchess of Daytona. I'd inhabit ice igloos on the island of Iona.
I'd do anything for a Klondike Bar, but I won't do that.
I am a robot. Robots don't eat. So I don't eat. The average human, however, would probably sacrifice his friends.
You have one, don't you? So, the question now becomes, what would I do to you if you don't give me that Klondike Bar you've been taunting me with?
I do this. Blah, 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 blah.
Things that are often frowned upon in public society.
I usually never have to do anything. I make people get them for me.
I don't know what I'd do for a Klondike Bar. I'd probably spit it. I'd kill myself for a Klondike Bar.
I would do Courtney Love.
By the way, what is a Klondike Bar?
I would kite to Kentucky with the Kiwis and a kiss. I tell everyone on Earth that I'm excited to exist.
Really? Because I don't know. I just buy one. Well, to each their own, I suppose.
Thanks to most of you for submitting your answers. Most of you. Some of you just scared me, and the fact that you know who I am scares me even more. And remember, if some of your answers didn't make it in this contest, it's because you were horrible. You shouldn't be answering any questions, or you were just too ugly to make it on screen, or I just didn't like you. Either way, thank you for submitting, and remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question until you answer it. Look. Boobies.
Okay,
Okay, you take a left, and you go up on Bridgeport Avenue, and then you should be able to get back on the freeway. There, I answered your questions.